And one of the things we're doing, Tohei Sensei worked a lot with food. And, you know, he had 4 rules of tea, like relax completely, weight is underside, extend tea, keep your 1 point. Okay? And that's all good. But it's I relax completely. I have weight underside. I keep my 1 point. I extend tea. And I think with Sensei, it was a little different. It was more like he was getting more transparent. So he, a truer level of himself, was talking to Key, and Key would talk back. See, a lot of us have ideas, but then again, what happens is that they stay ideas. Okay, now we're going to bow in, and today's class is going to be around dodging bullets, which hopefully none of us ever need. And I mentioned earlier, I'm going to have my daughter text me every day that my granddaughter is safe. Do I want to do that? No. I'd rather the world existed in a much more innocent place. But it's past a couple of steps. And so, you know, Aikido, what is Aikido? Aikido's here to help us find who we are. As crazy as things are, find a harmony with it. This means we take precautions we need. We live a vital, focused life consciously. And it doesn't matter how strong your Aikido technique is, if you can't dodge a bullet, it might not amount to much. You see? I mean, Sensei was good because he could do all these things really well, and then he kind of went past what he was supposed to be able to do. The first time I saw him, I'd read about him and everything, but I saw him on Super 8 or 8mm home movies. I said, he's a superhero. That's the only way I could describe it. Robert Fraser probably had a better sense psychologically. Those Sensei meditated, probably had a better sense of him. I looked at him, I said, he's a superhero. Wow. And basically what he said is, I have no particular abilities other than Aikido. But what is Aikido? Harmony with Ki. In other words, you have a relationship with it. So we're going to work today on developing a little bit of that relationship along the theme of dodging bullets. Okay? All right, which I hope nobody needs, and none of your family members or circle needs at all. Okay? Okay. Okay, everybody up. And stay where you are. Okay, so one of the things we were kind of mentioning is, you know, just basics. And might we do a left foot forward triangle. Okay. This is an incoming, not a bullet. Okay. The sensei is obviously the, but you may even see it's about to come when you try to move your feet. Rotate your hips. Just your hips. You're not going to do feet yet. And now, what I'm going to ask you to do a little bit, that gets you out of the first bullet, which is a companion. Move from your center. Yeah, free and easy. Move from your. Now, that's the idea. The bullet's coming a little later. Settle in. It's still kind of the noisy mind place. See, if you have a relationship with P, but there's too much dialogue going on, you can't. And P is talking to you. Good. So that one, it's calm. You're calm. Now, in a very, increasingly insane world, cultivating that sense of calm and helping our friends and family members to do so, good. You're not rushing that movement. Huh? Okay. Now, the other basic is that maybe there's a 1-2 coming. So you're going to, move your hips to move your feet. Good. And there's a timing. Now, first of all, nothing's going on. It feels my energy focus on it. It might be weird energy, but it's just energy. But all of a sudden, that energy becomes an intention. Good. You feel the difference? Yeah. I live in an apartment complex, and there are people yelling on the street they're going to kill each other and everything like that. What do? You go down and talk to the people in the office. They say, we can't do anything about it. Okay. Hips, then, okay, now move your feet. Okay. Now you might don't give a turn away, because when you're going like this, there could be somebody in your back. Okay. Move your feet. Okay. Now, fortunately, I'm a very benign, insane person here. So move your feet off of that. Yeah. You're creating space. Okay, that was nice. Okay. You're calm, you're settled. When you're that way, if, for example, T is in motion, you pick it up. And conversely, if you're going to be like Osensei, you can start to converse with T. That's a big step. He called it prayer. Okay, now, then basic. I feel that one a little bit like this. You can get calmer. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Smoother. Agitated mind is, the bullets are deadly, but the agitated mind is also in some way deadly. It prevents you from being conscious. Fortunately, you have a vest on, so you'll have a belly ache, but easy, better. Okay? Now, boom, boom. See, one of the tricky things right here is he turns his hip. Turn your hip. You're thinking about which way to turn. Just turn. Boom. Okay, now comes another one. Yes. We're trying to, the guy yesterday had 2 assault weapons. He's 18 years old. Why in the world does anybody sell an assault weapon to it? Whatever. That's another matter. Okay, so we go this way. Boom. Okay, good. Now, a little slow on that first one. So get a little calmer, a little easier. Yeah, better. Okay. All right. I get to be Dr. Octopus. I got it. I'm your coach. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that calm, that's your friend. That's your friend. See? You can see cross-legged. There's no magic for this. Calm is your friend. The noisy mind, it's not an enemy, but it keeps you away from the calm, doesn't it? No amount of reacting to what happened yesterday in Texas is going to help me. maybe what it can do is it can motivate me to hang out with the calm, be more conscious. Then I really feel compassion when I'm, or is compassion a place that you find when you're calm? To start to settle into that calm. Okay? Now, it's the same thing, really. Shoot her from the rooftop. Turn your hip. Good. Just your hip. Better. See that one? You see how the calm is your friend? And instead, we spend a lot of time on our news feed getting more agitated. You know, I must admit I'm that way. All right. Good. Okay, now don't lean. Relax. Okay, now move your, that's good. But if it's coming for your belly's still there. Turn your hip. Good. Good. Yeah. You'll kind of recognize it when it feels right. It feels right. Okay? Now, for example, maybe you get more than one on. I'm using a combination now. So what I'm trying to get you to do is to bond with that calm. I might go a different way. Boom, boom. Okay. A different one too. Okay, now, one of the things about it, you're picking the bullet up and you're stepping across to the other side one of the bullets. Just turn right where you are. Boom. Right? Yeah, I feel, now I'm going to step over to the other side. You don't want to do that. Okay. Okay. Now it's a little harder. It's coming from the top. Good. Now we'll give you a little combination. Boom, boom. You see? All right? All right? Now, are we starting to bond with the calm? That's a news feed that's going on 24/7 as well. Okay, so let's just take a second. You can sit cross-legged if you like. Cross-legged is cool. There's no magic to this. Calm is your friend. When he is not necessarily going to talk to you in words. He will move before a situation. The key's not until a bullet's coming. The key will start to move before the bullet comes at you. So essentially, it would see that as flashes of light. He was once in an encounter with a naval officer who was really good with a sword. He was both ends, but he faced him without. That was his famous golden vapors thing. In Mongolia, Manchuria, wherever, he saw the flashes of light for the bullet. This day, he saw the flashes of light before the guy could cut. And the guy was really fast. But what happened is the guy tried to hit him and couldn't touch him. It just seemed like he's just walking around and he couldn't be touched. Because he picked the flashes up before the physical. Now, for us to get to Osensei's level of calm, that's, whew, who said anybody can do this? Well, Nadeau Sensei, again, famous story. So I want to do Aikido like you. And Osensei said, that's funny, nobody else does. Good. Because when a lot of Osensei's training was in consciousness. Now, you can't bring those kids back. But you can be alert. start to read situation. Moving off the line is positive action. It's a metaphor for other things. So sit in that calm. And the Dosensei sometimes calls this downtime. But Dosensei's major form of meditation was Shingon Kishin, calming the spirit, returning to your more divine self. So he did meditation and stuff like that. That was his primary one. He was so good at it, the bullets talked to him before they came. So just be very easy there. That's part of the calm. Because the calm, I have to be very easy. Like I get so easy, sometimes I feel transparent. But when I'm transparent, I'm really a mirror, and I pick up what's going on. Get a sense of what's going on behind me. And then right here, we're moving. This is impromptu. Hey, that's pretty good. Now we'll do it a little bit. Yeah. Now we'll go like this. All right. Now it's an absurd situation, but he had no practice in doing it. But I'm not interested in his practicing to get better at that move. It's more like I want him to get better at that calm. Where he feels the movement coming at him. And right about here, he should be saying, it's about to happen again. He picks it up quicker. Make sense? So, yeah. It's a spider sense we all have. It's just that we get too into the noisy mind. Okay? Okay. That is not good. That, if something's coming at you with a trajectory, move to the side and forward. Yeah. If you move backwards, something's gaining on you. If you go forward, now, I mean, obviously you don't want to go forward into it. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good. Okay, you move. Yeah, you move. As opposed to, oh my God, what just happened, right? You move. He was empty. Empty, calm, similar. Downtime. One thing that Miyamoto Musashi said, he wrote 5 books, Book of 5 Rings. The last one's the Book of the Void. And he said most people just think of void as bad stuff. I got nothing left. Everything is destroyed. Human life is so pitiful. I don't want to be, that sort of stuff. But he said, no, the void's different. He said something like, by knowing nothing, you know everything. So all of a sudden, something moves towards you. Oh, sure. And something moves towards you. And something moves towards you. And something comes at you from an angle you don't expect. So all we're doing is getting increasingly into the calm. That's that vacant space, that empty space. Right? We can be throwing each other around, which we're probably going to do at some level. But on the other hand, we get so that's fun. Yesterday was not fun. Nor should yesterday have been fun. But the only people that should have fun, that had fun yesterday, was the Giants. They came back 3 times and won 13-12 on a game that was just impossibly out of reach, and then all of a sudden they won it. Why do I know that? Because I read it on my phone. I can't find my phone, but I know my phone is around somewhere. There's a form, but there's no energy. You can outsmart yourself by being too smart. Hmm? Whoops. See, the klutzy person will give you, the way Bruce Lee put it, I get a cut here, and then he's going, and then, Bruce Lee said it. He said the person he feared the most was some big, clumsy person with no training. They're big, they're dangerous, they're clumsy. Well, they might fall on top of you and hurt you. The clumsiness is like a broken rhythm. If somebody's good, he reads them. Somebody is totally off, it's hard to read. Right? That was Bruce Lee's worst fear, which means he was an intelligent guy. He wasn't like, my kung fu can beat anything. No, not really. All you got to do is be late once. Right? Essentially, it's just the Aikido. This calm place is very peaceful. But it lets you know when something's about to happen. Yeah. Huh? So, just for a second, just a cross-legged if you like. Make friends with that calm. That's like a news feed that's always going on. That's the universe. And most of the time, we'll what's going on and we'll turn my phone on. That's what I've tried to do somewhat in the last period of time. Every day, I'm going to go into a different news feed. Okay? Now, for example, I want to do that, but there's this crazy world. So, the calm is always going on. So there's this physical attack, which I missed, but I missed something. I missed the fact that before this physical, there was an energy, interest, or projection. But we spend time here anyway. We're steps low. Okay, the calm is still going on. And we'll do our basic coaching. Okay? And in the world, listen, every day, well, all of a sudden something happens like yesterday. I better up my consciousness. Okay? So the grab is to start your noisy mind so you can kind of settle and find the calm in the midst of that. And then we get good at, right? All right? Just our simple, stupid grabs and stuff. That's to get your attention where it's supposed to be. Not on the grab, on the energy around there. Okay? So let's fill up. Yeah, yeah. In the calm, more of the calm, more, everything. There's flow. Yeah, here, you're picking it up before 7 and 10. Good. A little quicker. But, you got to practice maybe in what I'm going to be in this ordinary world where I can just a little settle, get into the calm. That's where the grabs come in. Yeah. Now, most of the time, for example, the movement back is not good because something's leaning on you. So it's actually better to move forward. Okay. Because, while I'm moving this way, the bullet's, leaning on me. If I go this way, I'm going to be prepared for another one. These days, I mean, I originally never had to deal with assault rifles, but I sort of sense you probably would have done fine. I just sort of know that somehow. Can we do that? Or maybe if we train, we can have some of it. Yeah, I know. Horrible day. Horrible day. Okay, all right. Okay, now what I want you to do, okay? So it starts with a grab, but palm, good. Now, I do this palm first and then that. Find that. No, okay, now. This is a bullet. Okay, good. Yeah, now move, pivot. Good. There might be another one behind you. Same thing, palm. Dodge the bullet. Okay, good. Now pivot and turn and make sure that,
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Now, one of the things I'm going to ask you to do a little bit, it's not about the movement here, it's pushing the palm. It looks like a movement, but it's not. It's very powerful. That's all I was interested to do it. I mean, I can't do it anywhere near what he could do. As I said, I saw him on movies or no videos, and he's a superhero. Oh my God. I haven't seen anything like that outside of a Marvel comic. Woo! I mean, there are other people that call him different, like that great spiritual teacher. Yes, I could, I was getting into that stuff at that point. I went, he's a superhero. Somebody come out and he's already all of a sudden he's somewhere else. Right? He's somewhere else. He's somewhere else. Yeah? If two people come this direction, there's two streams of energy, and then boom, yeah, no, it was like, what is this? An old man, supposed to come in this direction. He comes in this way, comes in this way. Yeah. Now, how did he move that way? Because in some sense, he was telling him to move that way. Right? He was moving with where he told him to move. If you're both coming in this direction, this is one of the easiest things to do right there. Right? And, since I said, certain as other things, I said, this is very easy. I can't give it to you. And we instead, we spend all the time on that. We look at that first sense, right? Okay? I can't get calm. Please help me get calm. We're so arrogant, we never ask. Okay? I really want to have a relationship with you because I know you're to some degree, you are the universe. I don't quite understand how. Maybe if we talk a little bit more, I'll understand that. I don't right now, but could you help me out? And that's something I think he understood. To somebody else, if you have power, said, not really. Just IQ. Where's IQ? Ability to communicate with me and communicates back. There's motion if we're coming this way. Coming this way, then we go that way. I mean, it looks, it's fake as hell. But it looked like Dr. Strange casting a spell and working with the shanty. I went, this is a superhero. Darn it. That was my prep for it anyway. Yeah. Makes sense. Okay. So just a basic. I'm too busy watching my news feed, getting depressed. Yeah, I want to stay informed. And I think if they can teach other people to kind of start this dialogue with Ki, I'll make it a better world. Other than that, we're clued on, oh my God, the primary is just going to happen. Well, nobody paid attention to the primary. I watched the basketball game last night, but nobody's really there right now. They watch the players and they're kind of like, we got to play a basketball game. Who wants to play? National TV money, you got to go play. Okay? What is this movement? Well, before the movement, there's that, and then there's the movement. Yeah. Calm. There's calm, there's deeper calm. And there's deeper calm. And there's deeper calm. And there's deeper calm. Oh. I can't do that, but the wave of Ki can. And I want to get better at this move. I know I want to get better at talking to Ki and having Ki help me out. Okay. Collapses time space a little bit because he's anticipating me being right here. Good. And then we do that again. And instant replay. We'll frame it to ahead of in time space and keep forming a wave going my way. Yeah. I know it's crazy, but when you start to kind of work Ki, until since I had a good model, it's just I. And this is more like I want to clear the I out, get to a deeper level move where some of this is possible. Other than that, I learn all these tricks and I'm superior to people and I get pretty arrogant. Yeah. I mean, he has really a lot of good stuff that I wish everybody left him. Because, he just basically tried to, okay, yeah, he was right. Aikido lost something when he left. But, okay. Okay. Now you're in the merry-go-round. Right? Wave. Wave. Yeah, I don't know something, but some level you learn something that you want to let go. And you sort of say, can you help me out here? Right. I think you learned that, and a lot of other people never did. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. One of the things, there are many ways of communicating with emotion. The universe is in motion. We're in motion. Our motion and the universe's motion, they start to kind of talk. And if you always say, help me out here. Universe vibes here, vibes there. So sound, vibrant. Universe has a pulse, heartbeat or breath. And the big mistake is the universe is space-time, matter, energy, gas. I think everything's conscious. I think subatomic particles talk because they behave in ways that they shouldn't really. Well, oh my God, I didn't know that this particle and this particle can go away from each other at the speed of light, and the rotation will be the same. But one, it becomes two. That doesn't, at the speed of light going this way and that way, same rotation. Particles rotate. Okay, particles vibe. Okay, so if it's kind of right about here. Things are so bad. I need to help lighten the mood up. And everybody has to be able to kind of open and stretch out a bit more. All right. Strictly speaking, I should be on my toes. Energy pathways, meridians to go through the toes and fingers. You'll see the center and the circle spiral forming around that center. So when she moves, it moves in various patterns, circles, spirals, waves. Okay? So, come on in. The ideal thing, for example, I beat him to here, then he punches me in the stomach. I was like, oh, okay. Like, all of a sudden, he's on this different trajectory. I'm putting him on a beam of light, and it's hard for him to punch me when he's riding a beam of light. But there's a very interesting experience to riding a beam of light. That's kind of how it feels. Okay? Let's change partners. Just do a little stretching, a little movement down there. You can do it standing if you like. Look, standing's okay for you because I know the knees are kind of. One thing about that, for example, your movement is correct. Okay, but when you get to here, there's that click. If he's big, and you get him in this movement pattern, and then he's still big. So there's that little click. What is that little click? Well, you grab here, a little settle that calm. All right, so we go this way with it. And he's big and thick. Calm. That's that click. The calm is the click. Oh, so where we are, that's okay, he's getting kind of nuts. Click. Sometimes you're gonna have a chance to meditate for a couple of hours at this state. I'm getting some pretty weird vibes. Click. Right. Which is, yeah. We got, that's good. Now click. Okay, yeah. You didn't add any more muscle, but that's how he works. Click. That just means my thought patterns or whatever the words are very, okay, very good. We get out of that, he continues to hold, but right about here, he's big and strong, so click again. You click, again, I click again. I don't want to get involved in what happens when somebody gets sick. Bullets get stiff, they jam up the gun may miss it. That's good. That means, thank you. I wasn't ready for it. The gun explodes in the gunman's face. So much the better. That's called karma. So, you see what I mean there? Very often. Yes. By the time I learn how to do it, I'm too old to do it. But there's a click there. Click. Even though this is primary motion, there is a click there. Oh. Yeah. Whenever you run into something, just like that. You run into something, boom. You don't want to add more muscle there. to some degree, you want to have more technique. Another click. Click is double click. The click is the double click. Yeah. That's how key moves. There are a lot of ways that you're really saying, teach me how to do this movement. Which means we got to get out of a easy. Click, click. Make that click. I gotta calm down. And then the universe kind of goes, okay, it's like an energy coming in, it goes back out on itself in a wave. And I gotta get, I gotta learn certain amounts so I can clear and let the energy move and help me out. Okay? Whatever the technique. What am I going to do here is it's two games. You have to one. Oh, I see the path. Okay. That's one of the dumbest things in the world. People come in as hackers and say he goes around and then basically they fall down. That's crazy. But they weren't there to kind of feel the actual forces. They weren't there to really feel the actual forces moving. He wasn't an old man, kind of people fell for him because he was an old man and he was Osensei. It was like, what was that? But he was so good, people think, I think it must hold down or technique down, so I must be falling for him. And the doctor said, done. Robert Fraser simply said the same thing to him. I don't know how he's doing it. Because the other teachers had key, they also had strong technique. Whoa, what's this? And so the Americans are kind of because they weren't so socially conditioned. You see what I mean? Okay. 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 So one of the things about the Qing confusion, calming the spirit. One way of looking at spirit, what is it? It's kind of like your soul essence on the move. As you calm it, it goes back to your more original nature as soul. Qing confusion. I read somewhere where this famous scholar found in Shinto history that the word kami, spirit, came out of the word for soul. Now, exactly what soul is, we can have discussions about, and you can debate somebody who's studied the religious texts and everything. I think okay, it was his working place. Soul on the move is something people call spirit. Soul on the move oftentimes looks the yin yang pattern, fire, water, heaven, earth, yin yang. So yeah, kami, spirit. The juice of it was the original nature of who we are, which we separate from because we get the term is entanglement. The things get denser and denser and get crazier. So we go the other way. Yeah, I know. And we also know there's another news feed I tune into at least for 15 minutes a day. So that's the calm. Breathe. Now just think about it. So You find tension in your body. Don't try to fix the tension, just soak a little deeper in the calm. Let it dissolve naturally on its own. Places where things are very tense, your jaw, your forehead, shoulders and chest. As you kind of do this, you kind of find your breathing kind of elongates. Your heartbeat starts to kind of steady, strong, starts to sync up with the breathing. It's even healthy for us. Reading the news feed and getting more and more agitated, yeah, same form. That's not what I'm saying. But there's another news feed we can tune into increasingly. Easy, easy, easy. And I'm too caught up in what's going out there, so too caught up in the risk. How am I gonna, maybe I can pick up something and say, you know, I have a bad feeling, take it really easy today. I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm gonna try to pass some of my calm on to you. It's not about being worried about anything, it's just be easy. Be alert. Easy doesn't mean you're not alert. Most of the time when I'm too caught up in this or what's going on, I'm not alert because I'm caught up in it. It's called entanglement. Okay? Now there's another word called superposition, which means all of us are just in a series of universes that are going on. And everybody here in one of these universes might be a Nobel Prize winner. That we oftentimes get locked into one. Another one is like, oh my God, I'm this and this other. In fact, there are a lot of movies about that now. But there are archetypes like, you know, I asked Michael Moorcock, did you create the term multiverse? He said, no, it was actually H.G. Wells that had that concept, but I named it the multiverse. Well, now Marvel's all into the multiverse. DC's into the multiverse. All the entertainment things, multiverse, multiverse, with a superposition. You're a soul in there. You may have different incarnations, but you're a soul. Unifying those. That's superposition. And one way to, a gateway to that superposition, if we choose to do it, and that is the calm. In other words, empty is good. Open. Easy is another good one. So what we did today was give you a feel for the potency of that news feed that comes through you. It's not about the outer world, it's about you. Okay? And, you know, if we were to have to dodge bullets, the only way we could do it is if we somehow were like Osensei, that somehow the larger energy in the universe will tell us, watch out and prep us. As I said, I mean, the thing that attracted me to Aikido was him. It wasn't the movements. I watched him and I thought, you know, he's a superhero. I never thought I'd see anything like that outside the page of comic books. Now there's CGI, so you can watch anything. But in the late 60s, comic books were the only place you saw it. There were dumb superhero shows on, like The Adventures of Superman, that were pretty hokey. So if you really wanted to see superhero stuff, you read the comics. And your imagination took you to different places. So, honest to goodness, that's what got me into Aikido. It isn't what kept me in Aikido, but that was my seminal, he's a superhero. Ah, not the most mature reason for getting involved in any of this. Okay? But, calm. Establishing a relationship with not the universe, but Ki. At a certain level, Ki is the universe. Establishing a communication. In the process, I'm having to get more transparent, more towards my original nature. Yeah, we got all this stuff to deal with, got families, we got all this stuff. We got all the bad news on CNN. Some of it's really very discouraging. But there's just other news feed available. And Aikido, we're here to move and feel that more experientially, not just an idea. Okay, so today this is our God's Bullet class. Take a couple of deep breaths, natural deep, not forced. You're there. Relax as completely as you can. You're there. Feel your weight settle down under. Let the tension go from your jaw and your chest and your shoulders and neck. And you're there. Now there's more depth to all those. The deeper we go, the more that we sort of start to, maybe one of us will hit our sensory territory. Or maybe, you never know, maybe you'll have to save people. Hey, picking something up here. Your spider sense, the universe pumping you a little bit saying, warning, warning, Will Robinson, you know, that old, what is it, Lost in Space show. Okay, anyway. Okay, thank you very much. Okay.